Welcome to Night Vision series with Human Wayfinder at your service. Doing some readings at night that are meant to show us what we normally cannot see. It's a level or a layer of things that are going on, or typically the guidance that I provide is Human Wayfinder. It's all about what it is to be human, and Wayfinder is being, finding our way through life and looking at things through a creative lens. Just a little bit about me. I have, I guess I am one of the more sensitive type people. I recall in, Lordy, in my late 20s, I suppose. I've had mental health issues off and on, basically my whole life, and was not raised in a family and in a culture or society that had emotional intelligence. And most people still don't. Sorry, not sorry. Most people really don't. Most people really don't. So I like to dig down into those layers and unpack what's really going on. I like to demystify things across many levels. So that's kind of the big picture. And then what tonight specifically is about, this reading, is focusing on the cover card being emotional loss. So this is what we feel on the surface. This is what we're more aware of, is a sense of emotional loss. And we're going to go ahead and assume that this is a actual portrayal, a mirror, that, I'm looking at this guy and he seems a little bit distrustful. He's giving a little bit of side eye. I don't know about you, or I don't know if I can trust you. And then guarding his heart. And even maybe this guy's angry. Might be angry. Like red often signifies anger. Like this could be like a deep level of anger. And me personally, I swear to God, I just put two and two together. I was meditating on the bed here just a minute ago, just trying to continue my practice of meditation. I'm so on again, off again with it. But at any rate, I was having this imaginary conversation with some of my friends and trying to imagine myself, or I was imagining myself having a conversation where I could tell a friend that I've never been mad at before that I'm mad at them over something stupid. It really doesn't matter, but there's a part of me that when I'm angry, or when other people are angry with me, as long as I can remember, that feels like the most terrible thing in the world, and that I have to do everything possible. I become super hyper fixated. People pleaser nature goes out of control, and I am internally secretly obsessed about how I can make this right. And I'm like a dog with a bone. Even if I drop it for a little bit, I'll come back. I'll sniff out the bone again and keep working on it until I feel like I've resolved this problem. So that's unhealthy. It's great to give your mind things to problem solve with, but it's not your problem. People get mad. And same inversely, conversely, the same kind of dogged nature comes out when I'm angry with someone else. It immediately feels like this is something terrible that cannot be, and find a way to love them instead, find a way to blah 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 blah. No, it's part of the human expression of emotions. Anger. I'm in a place in my life right now. I'm going through a divorce, and my parents died in the last few years. Like my dad passed almost a year ago exactly, and then my mom passed 2 years before that. And this perfect storm coming all together. I've also Like, I don't even want to go through the cacophony of things I've been through, but the last decade's been a real fucking number, man, let me tell you. So, all of this culminating into, like, tearing me down to the base levels of everything. So then this next card is, and you know, I give my readings with my own stories as a practical example or an interpretation. If, for instance, I certainly don't expect them to be accurate to your situation, but it's just a for instance, and telling stories is also along the lines of shamanic practice to the power of storytelling, that hearing what someone else is going through and being challenged with that likely aligns with something that you're going through, hearing it from another perspective can help you complete that loop and close out the cycle, which we see with the spiral coming into this tighter circle, that we're at already a level of completion. And the number of circles that I see in this reading in general to me is saying completion point at hand, full circle, full of circles, full circles. So yeah, we're coming full circle. So that's always a great, wonderful thing. But just know that the full circle often includes a level of emotional, if it's about dealing with emotional loss, it could be whether it's losing something or someone, but obviously I was just talking about anger being an emotion that I basically, that maybe was a loss of emotional intelligence around that emotion. Maybe this is about our loss of emotional intelligence in general. I started out talking about that to begin with. So wherever this hits for you, these levels can all, I just kind of see them playing together like weaving threads, and we travel along this line, and this is the transits. The transits card is about what planets are moving through, what energies are moving through, things that we can't see. I just dropped it face down, something that you can't see. It's emotions. What are these? If something is affecting you in the undercurrents, in your subconscious and suppressed emotions, they still affect you. They do still affect you. And what many people do, what I myself did, is I disassociated from my emotions and couldn't feel them anymore, but that I was still being affected. And it led to me having complex PTSD by the time I was like, this was cumulative lifetime and then other various debacles going on that just finally I hit that breaking point. But yeah, the last decade of my life I've been learning how to operate all over again. Like, I've had to deconstruct myself, and it wasn't anything that I sat down one day like, because it's not fun. It's not fun. Not a fun thing. But this picture reminds me of that process of this. It's that coming into that space of the primordial creation where you're just, it's the cocoon of metamorphosis. This is what this feels like to me, especially in the setting of all of this. Like, it just feels really strongly towards that. So cocoon vibes here. And when you're in this cocoon, what energies are playing through you? What chords are being strung by the universe, by higher power, by your life plan, by everything that's coming together in this moment in time to act upon you? I'm going to move on to sixth house of sustainability. It's on this level. It's on this level that the transformation and the gift, the focus, the up-leveling is occurring. So the sixth house being, well, obviously sustainability, but we see the gears turning. It's the workings, the greater workings of life and how they all come together. Work, play, food, it's the nitty-gritty of how life gets done. And how well are you taking care of yourself, and how sustainable is that? Are you balanced in giving and receiving? Here we have this balance. And I see mastery. I see mastery here, that she's able to do all the things and she's not struggling. I don't know why I'm saying she. This has a very feminine look to me. Maybe it does to everybody. Yeah, fairly feminine. So this could be about a feminine drive, the feminine way of being, which would make sense if this is a collective reading, and on the whole, knowing that humanity is healing from the most recent age being very much damaging towards women. Of course, we're coming out of that, but that doesn't mean that we don't still have wounds to heal. And this is something that we don't have to be overly concerned about. That's the thing. We don't have to worry and fret. That's actually exactly what this is about. It's about coming away from the worry. We think accidentally that when we're worrying about things and trying to make everything right, that we're doing a good job and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But we're actually mucking. This is the level that is under renovation with this cocoon of transformation, with this emotional loss aspect, that there has been a loss on the emotional level of understanding how much it matters and how it plays in. Like, not only are you doing the right things, but how do you feel about doing the right things? If you're making your whole life a chore, which, oh my God, yes, I've been feeling like that. My whole life has felt like a chore, not all of the time, every day, all of the time. But for far too much of my recent history, my life feels like chores. My job is literally a lot of chores. I work at a pizza restaurant. And I'm sick to fucking death of cleaning. Oh my God. And at my house, I'm sick to fucking death of cleaning. We've been like going through things like, I just don't even want to tell you. I'm bored of it. I can't even tell you about it. I'm so done. And so it's not just getting the things done, but it's how do you feel while you're doing them. This matters. If we're forcing ourselves to work, even if the things, it doesn't matter necessarily if it's work or play, because play things, if we're forcing ourselves to do it, still has that work, chore vibe to it. So really find that balance. What really feels fun, what really feels fulfilling, and put those things into your day. Some work, some play. It goes across the board with just about anything. Is your daily self-care routine, like taking care of your body? Are you your nightly routine of showering, blah, 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 all of it, like all of it is applies. All of it, this applies across the board. Anything and everything that we do, we're going to have feelings about it. And are you in a place of, we just have to do these things and get through it, and it doesn't matter how we feel? And or you could be on the opposite end of the spectrum of unable to get yourself to do the things that feel too uncomfortable. And maybe you've become too complacent in a comfort zone. And this place of balance must be struck on that other level. And the reason that would be important is that when it's time to move out of your comfort zone and you're being asked 1515 and you're being asked to do things by life that you cannot get yourself to do, but it is in your highest good to do it. Just practicing with these things every day goes a long way. So we're gonna look at some numerology quickly and probably close this up. So we have 4-4. This is unrelated to the cards, oracle affirmations. So 44, this is correlated with this one we were just talking about, the 6th house of sustainability. I open my heart to the powerful divine support from loving angels that helps me in all aspects of my physical and spiritual life. I mean, that's so cool. I did not, like, it's just how these are, the authors of these, it just speaks to the I'm like speechless. So like, it's so cool. This is so on point. And then the 6th house, since this is about the 6th house, we're going to look up 644 as well. A lot of times, like, the way I see things like this is again, I was talking about that grid of how things cross and how things play together, that we have the 44 strand, and now we're going to look at the 6th, how the 6th runs through the 44, and that's how, whatever. And that will help us like hone in a little bit more. My heart understands the language. This is the key. This is the key. My heart understands the language, guidance, and signs of the angels. And that's what this is all about, is that with a guarded heart, we are not receiving this in this place of, it's not, we don't actually literally become, it's not like we're a literal caterpillar where we go into this physical metamorphosis and come out a new being. This is it can vary greatly. It's the levels of how do I say it? Let's look up 55 and let's look at what 55 says and see if that gives us a little point of clarity on the transits and climate. Divine disruptions and pattern breakers lovingly support a more beautiful reality for all concerned. That's what it's about. I think it's on the masculine side. Fucking no shit. It's the masculine side that is being reformed right now, and yes, I lost that thread that I had a moment ago. What did I just read? My heart understands the language, guidance, and signs of the angels. So this is about bringing on a more fluid, masculine, feminine communication within your own self. And for you to learn self-mastery with this, you will begin practicing it with people in the real. Your relationships, we're coming through this, okay, yes. The transits and the climate is that we just came through a triple conjunction with Moon, Venus, and Saturn. Saturn is quite masculine, structure, form, can be very hold your feet to the fire type thing. The anger, like that righteous indignation and also just get your fucking shit together and do it right. That needs a lot of grace and balance with this. When we're in the place of sensitivity, that the sensitive nature coming online, you say that to a sensitive soul, they shut down. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it will leave them feeling hurt and angry. 100% been going through this. 100,000% going through this. I know that's not a real percent, but you get it, right? Yeah. So this card of share your art with the world, I think has two meanings really. Share how you feel. You must express. I hate saying that, you must. But there's a part of you that must be expressed to move through this point. That shutting this down, you are crushing the part of you that needs to blossom. This is a really sensitive place. And your sensitivity to these feelings is coming online for a very good and important reason. That these feelings are gifts. And that speaking to each other honestly, openly about how we feel, how we really feel, how the things that we're doing, maybe, it could be completely interpersonal for you. It could be all about your own internal world. It almost always is, but what you are facing in your daily life may be about your relationships, and particularly male to female relationships. And that's because, as within, so without, that in order to fully understand it within your own masculine feminine balance, you play this out in the real. Yeah. All right, well, I think I'm about out of time, so I'm going to wrap this up. Yay! That was a good message. Thank you for watching. I hope that it brings you what you need. Lots of love.